Hi friends! Today for our small group, we are going to be focusing on dramatic story retelling. And our objective is to comprehend and respond to books and other texts through retelling and recounting details in a story. So our story today that we're going to be working on to retell is Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It's one of my favorites. Now, families, in your packet that we sent home, you should have worksheets that your child can color. So this is the Goldilocks worksheet, and there's a few of them. Here's the bowls. There's some pictures to support our retelling. The chairs and the bears. So if your child can color in the pictures, and then they can also cut them out to use as props for when they retell the story. And my friends and families can help each other to retell the story. So my mommies and daddies, aunts and uncles, whoever's at home, grandma and grandpa, you're going to help your child to remember the details in the story by asking them, what happened first in the story of the Goldilocks and the Three Bears? What happened first? So focus on the sequence of events as you're trying to get your child to remember the story by using props, such as the pictures. So what happened first? Did Goldilocks try the portraits first, or did she sit on the chairs first? Or did she lay in the beds first? Try to get your child to remember what happened first and to describe the details in the story. So let's just flip through the pages together just so you have an idea of what happens in this story so that you can retell the story with your child. So Goldilocks and the Three Bears. The first thing that happens is Goldilocks really wants to go for a walk in the forest. But do you remember, friends, what does her mom and dad say? Did they tell her, go ahead, go for a walk? No, they warn her. They say, no, don't go for a walk. It's dangerous, deep in the woods. Something can happen. But did she listen? No. So she went for a walk in the woods. And meanwhile, there was a family of bears that lived in a cottage in the woods. So Goldilocks stumbled upon the cottage. And what did she do? Did she walk by it, or did she go inside? Do you remember? She went inside, and the first thing she did was she sat on the chairs. And do you remember the great big chair? And then she sat on the medium-sized chair and then the very small chair. And what happened when she sat in the very small chair? It broke. Great job remembering. And then what did she do next? Then she tried the porridge. That's right. And the great big bowl, she tasted first, and it was too hot, right? It was too hot. And then the medium-sized bowl, it was too cold. That's right. And then the small, very small-sized bowl, it was just right. So continue asking your child what happens next, and focus on the language in the story, like the great big chair and the medium-sized chair. Talk about the different sizes of the chairs and the bowls. And then what happens next? She goes and she lays on the beds, remember? And she laid on the great big bed that was painted blue. And the great big bed was too what? Too hard. And the medium-sized bed, it was too soft. That's right. And then the very small bed was just right. And what happened? She fell asleep. Great job. So encourage your child to retell the story to you and be a storyteller. And you can take turns telling each other the story and using the props with your child. So maybe you can have a turn using props as your child retells the story, or you help your child retell the story and they use the props. That sounds like a super fun game. All right, and then what happened at the end of the story? Look, the bears came home and they found her in the bed and she was startled. And so she ran all the way back home. And then her parents were happy because they were worried about her, right? They were happy she was home and safe. All right, have fun with coloring your worksheets and cutting them and creating your own props to retell the story, Goldilocks and the Three Bears at Home, with your families. All right, great job. I will see you next time. Have fun.